Hello travelers, Tara here, Hiddenlotus Tarot, and I am coming to you today with another open reading. Today, I cannot believe it, it's October 10th. It's ridiculous. And I woke up this morning to some very, very lovely emails from some people who were expressing their thanks and appreciation for the open reading. So this is something I will probably keep as a mainstay. Of course, I will always be doing the monthlies as well. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm going to post up another video explaining my other services, and I'll put that up at the beginning. So that's for all of my new subscribers. And I would like to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. Share my videos across the web or links or what have you with your friends and your family, whatever. Anybody you think could use, some advice from the cards. I would like to thank my diehard subscribers for sticking with me. I really appreciate that. I was having a conversation with another reader last night, and she was like, oh, your readings are rather high vibrational. And that kind of struck me as odd. I don't consider, I don't know, I don't really pay attention to, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. Excuse me. My allergies are bothering me. Oh my God. The wind blows a different direction here and my allergies act up. So I don't really kind of pay attention to, I guess, the category of where my work would fall on YouTube, because there are lots of readers here. I try to focus on bringing you the tarot to the best of my ability. And a lot of you know I'm always studying, I'm always reading about the tarot. I try to learn as much as I can. I don't think if I lived 100 lifetimes that I would be able to understand all of the dimensions and complexities of the tarot. I've been talking to one of my clients who has expressed an interest in learning the tarot from me, so I'm considering teaching the tarot. Now, this is something that's not new. I've had people since the beginning asking me that, but I'm seriously considering that now. And the reason why is because the tarot can be really something that will help you during times of crisis or uncertainty. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to always get the answer that you want. Sometimes you don't even get the answer. But nevertheless, whatever messages come out are there for you, and you have to try to figure out how they fit into whatever your challenge is. And I think that that is can be a plus and a positive for anybody who's interested in what is really going on under the surface of their life. We spend, I think, a lot of time being quote unquote unconscious, and that's just due to the fact that we have other things going on. But it can really help add some depth and meaning as you move through. So I'm going to be coming to you today with 2 spreads. I'm going to try not to be so long as I usually are. We're going to be bringing back Casanova because he's been earning his keep in my tarot box. So he's been quite funny to me in certain ways. I find him to be quite, even for me, rather mysterious. It's a strange connection that I have with that deck. It speaks to me, but I don't feel connected. It's just kind of weird. So I'm going to continue trying to work with him to see if maybe he and I can unlock the secret, or I can unlock the secret of him, really unlock the secret, and we shall see. So this is going to be a general reading. The message will not resonate with everyone. Please, as always with an open reading, take what you can and disregard what you cannot. I myself have been asking questions of the tarot for the past couple of days, and I haven't been getting the answer that I've been looking for. It's been telling me everything else but. So maybe we shall see. I might be able to get a glimpse of the answer that I seek for myself. So trust me, I don't, I can't speak for other readers anyway, but for me, whenever I do a spread, whether it's a private reading, personal reading for someone, or even the open, I always end up getting something out of it. And I feel very fortunate about that. So 1 second here. I do have the Sibyllus and the Neapolitans for further clarification. Somebody wrote me and said, man, that reading you did the other day where you said you could hear us scream and put the cards on the queen. I think that was the one I did yesterday. I got so tickled. So here we go, 9 cards down. And let's see what the Radiant White has to tell us. Page of Cups. The Star. The 5 of Cups. The World. The 3 of Coins. The Moon. Oh, well, we got the full moon coming up. But even still, we are underneath eclipse energies. Still. The 7 of Cups. The 5 of Swords. And the 4 of Coins. With the 4 of Cups underneath the deck. Wow. Wow. Three major arcana. The word arcanum is Latin. It means mystery or secret. If I teach classes, I'll be giving you the history of the tarot as I've learned it thus far. The historical meaning of the tarot, how the deck came about, how it's divided up. I have 2 5s here. 5s speak to changes, okay? But they also speak to changes that are brought about through perhaps outside influences. In the center, I have this 3 of Coins. And this is the card of, it's a start. The 2, if this was a 2 of Coins, it would mean that you're giving some thought to doing something. It's a start, but you haven't really formulated a plan. The 3 of Coins says that you have formulated a plan and you are now taking the first steps of putting this plan in action. Okay, and this may require that you seek the assistance of other people. For some of you, you may have already begun this process. This is kind of an odd spread to me. It's kind of not really all over the place, but the energies are somewhat, they're not discordant in the sense that it's an uncomfortable energy. It's kind of just an uncertain energy that I'm picking up off the cards. And I would say there is a bit of uncertainty here with the 2 5s and the Moon card. Now, what I'm looking at is there's an offer. This is our past, present, and future, past, present, and future, and of course the interplay. And our focus is this 3 of Pentacles here. And so what I'm looking at is that some offer has come through, or yeah, an offer or a message. And it was brought about, for one thing, I think, because it is something that has been very, very desirous. But at the same time, here with the star card, it is something that has been brought about through astrology. In other words, all of the crazy planetary energy with all of the eclipses and all of that going on, um, uh, has brought about a shift, in the sense that some of you may have seen the realization of a hope, a goal, a wish, or a dream. Some of you, it started, but as we can see, it didn't go quite the way you wanted it to. And I could look at this and say that it is a relationship issue in one sense because of the cup cards that I have here. But really, this could be about anything. The cups simply mean they represent emotions, and most people equate them simply to love, but that's not necessarily true. It's anything, the cups represent anything on the emotional sphere, okay? So you can feel good about adopting a new puppy. You can feel good about paying down your debt. You can feel good about holding a door open for someone. So really it's about those things that provide some type of emotional context for you. And moving into the present row, we have the World card, the Three of Coins, and then the Moon. And what this is to me, and I find this to be the most interesting line here, it's the most interesting conversation in the spread, is because we are right on the precipice of stepping into a new journey. This is what the World card tells us. The World card is the last of the major arcanum card. And it is coming to the end of a cycle. Now, if you're into numerology, you'll know that there are 19-year cycles, there are 9-year cycles, there are 7-year cycles throughout people's lives. And this is where you take the evolutionary spiritual jump, okay? But the World card says you are now poised to step into a new cycle. For some of us, this will be coming about. It may play out all the way until, what is it, January, I think. Whatever the sign of Aquarius is, because that's what that represents. So we still have a ways to go, and this is why we are still encased in this wreath. This implies that we have some spiritual protection going on right now. So if you have suffered a loss of some sort and you are mourning over that loss, this is why we're still trapped in this. You are still spiritually protected in this. So in other words, go ahead and feel your feels, because it will serve you moving forward. But there is something unknown that is coming up on the other side. And this could simply be, one, because here we can see that, you know, an opportunity has come in and we're trying to move ahead and forge some new connections. We're trying to formulate plans to start something new, build a new project, build a new foundation for ourselves. But there's something unknown about this. And I feel that this is why this particular conversation on this row starts out with the World card. Because there literally is more work to be done. So for some of you, I think it's a lot of confusion. It could be that you really don't know which direction in which you want to go. It could very well be that you have so many different options coming at you right now that you don't know what to do about it. You don't know which is going to be the best for you. Some of you may be rebelling against this. And I say that because we have this Five of Swords here. And the Five of Swords is Venus in Aquarius. This is Venus in Scorpio, which likes to hold on to things. And this is Venus in Aquarius, which doesn't like to be tied down whatsoever, and will rebel against that. So we have two opposing Venus energies on the same row. And this represents Aquarius, but it also represents Venus. And so here we have Mars and Venus together, okay? And here we have Mars and Capricorn, and we are in that transit right now. And Mars and Capricorn. Capricorn is having that determination. The goat, nothing gets the goat down. Absolutely nothing. They are patient. They are determined. They can fall off the ladder, get kicked off the ladder, get stomped on. They will get right back up and continue their climb to the top. So there is something, and I think now that I've looked at that, remember I said this may take place all the way out to January, and that's what this card represents, a time frame of December 31st, the new year, into January 9th, the first week of January 2017. So there is, in this spread, I feel some kind of, it's not really rebellion, and it is being focused and determined on really going after what it is that you want, even though you may not be exactly sure what that is, how it's going to play out in the future. And that could simply be the fears of starting this new project. For some of you, now let me go into the relationship aspect, because this is what the message is that I'm getting. I'm getting that someone came through for you, or a situation came through and it did not go well. But I think many of you are endeavoring to simply try to move through the energy, and you have absolutely no idea how you're going to accomplish that. You might even be thinking, I don't even know how I'm going to ever get over this. And to me, this is fighting. It's swords against cups. This is a battle between head and heart, so to speak, kind of like the Lovers, okay? Here we have these 5 swords, and here we have these 7 cups. And this is trying to divorce yourself from the uncertainty of how you feel about a situation, okay? Now, I can honestly say, for some of you, this is a situation where there were 3 people in it. I have this row here, and it's almost as if, with this card leading out, that this was designed, it was designed by the cosmos, okay? Why? Because there's something that there's something else that you need to do. There's something else that needs to be done. And this could simply be about working on balancing out. See, we have those 2 cups in the background. And this could be simply about holding firm to what your idea of the 2 of Cups is, okay? Now, I do feel with this moon card here that we have the full moon coming up on the 16th, and that I think it's going to be in Aries. And the moon is not comfortable in Aries. It's more comfortable in its natural house, which is the 4th house, or the sign of Cancer. Now, this represents Pisces, but the water houses. And as we can see, we have lots of water here. Even these people are standing near water. And that may mean something to somebody. There's water here. Okay. So, and there's a lot of back and forth in terms of clarity. I think there is obviously there's some confusion here. But this could be a line of being confused and finally saying, you know what, enough's enough, and then walking away from the situation, and then just kind of taking a break, holding on to whatever lessons that you learned and whatever gain that you got out of whatever this situation is. But look, if it hasn't come yet, it will be coming. There is another option being presented or will be presented. But as we can see, we're simply just trying to hang on to where we are. Maybe because we're tired. Maybe we've been doing a lot of fighting. Maybe we've been working so hard. And then all of that work just kind of caused a lot of conflict. And so now you're tired and you just kind of want to sit down, and you don't really have an opportunity. You don't feel like taking on anything new emotionally. But that card also speaks to consider, at least consider whatever this option is here. Yeah, the 3, 3, and 3. This would be 6 of Cups. This would be the 10 of Cups with the Ace. Oh, that's significant. This is definitely connected to the Libra transit that we have going on right now. Jupiter in Libra, even though this represents Venus, the star is Venus. And we have 2 luminaries here. We have the stars and the moon. That can sometimes indicate a great attraction. But someone is already comfortable with whatever they're doing or who they are, and someone is not. Venus is all about how do you feel about yourself, and how you feel about yourself will sometimes directly impact how others feel about you. But the negative side of that is, if you don't feel good about yourself, you tend to attract those people that may sometimes make you feel even worse. And maybe this cup is not an offer coming from someone else, but it is an opportunity being presented for you to grasp that cup in terms of getting in touch with your emotions. That could be someone who is afraid of their own emotions. This card indicates that this is someone who's closed off. See, look, it started, but now it's blocked. And Page of Cups, the Moon, and the 7 of Cups. Shadow work being done. And trying to come through this, but not being able to because being closed off. Let's take a look at that's kind of self-explanatory, the 5 of Cups. That's kind of self-explanatory. But the implication as well could also be, like I said, these two things together would make a 6 of Cups. With the Star, with the World, and with the Moon card, what I'm picking up is that if this is not someone from the past, then it's a past life connection. It is something brought about through the astrology of the times. It could be a karmic cycle or a reincarnation cycle, running into someone from a past life. This to me in the center would say that there was a recognition of that, and it may have jumped quickly. Instead of an ace, it jumped straight up to a 3. And then it got so far and then it stopped. Okay. Let's take a look at what the and if I'm going to take that tact, it may not necessarily be that there's a third person there. That is a possibility looking at the cards. It could be that the two people who have come together or attempted to come together have butted up against karma, that they've had a relationship of some sort in the past life, and that relationship in itself has become like a third wheel. It has a life of its own. It's like having a third party in the relationship, because or a third individual stepping in, but really it's not. It is the energy of the two coming together that has reactivated whatever relationship they had in a past life. That's what I'm picking up. That's very interesting. Okay, let's lay cards on this 7 of Cups, because this also speaks to spiritual confusion, confusion from the inside. This is confusion on the outside. Wow. Okay. Wow. The 3 cards are the disgrazia, a misfortunate event. Now, this is akin to the Tower card here in the Sibila. And then I have the stanza. This is the room of privacy, of solitude, of intimacy, but also a card of communication. And as you can see, either there was a great fight in that room. I don't know if you can see that, the furniture's all skewed, stuff's hanging, the curtains are all torn and ripped. So either this was a great passion, okay, but also a great fight, a great struggle. And then I have the militare. Now, this card speaks to getting caught by law enforcement, but it also, just the imagery itself, is someone who's trying to just move past whatever this is. But I would dare say that they're having difficulty doing that because it falls on this 7 of Cups here. Turning things over in their mind, not quite certain even maybe what has happened. Because as you can see, this guy, what this is supposed to represent. You see, he's in dark relief. And this is someone who is butting up against not only his shadow self, but this could represent nightmares, okay, or fantasies. Maybe they had a certain idea the way something was going to go, and then the reality, which is Saturn, the world card, the reality says, wait a minute, so now remember I was saying there could be a third person. We're not going to rule that out. Here we have the Gran Signore. Then we have the Giovani Fanciulla, attraction to a young girl. This could also just simply mean attraction to someone new. And then we have the Yardro, the thief. And the thief has come in and stolen. Okay? To me, it simply speaks of thoughts and ideas coming in and stealing away whatever the promise of that was. Okay? Because like I said, people can steal all kinds of things from you. They can steal your time, your emotions, your thoughts, your trust, your faith. And this also speaks to, I think, cross purposes in the way that two people think about something. See those gray clouds that indicates confusion. Remember I said before, there's a lot of confusion surrounding whatever this situation is. Now, let's take a look at the moon card, because the moon card says that there's still something unknown about this situation. And it could be those of you who are trying to move through this, trying to build upon something new, and you are not being able to do that, it is because something has not yet come to light. It could simply be that you yourself may need to go down deep and look at perhaps the way you have behaved or the actions you've done and try to identify where those things are coming from. Because the moon speaks to fears, it speaks to illusions and deceptions. This could literally be somebody that might have some type of mental issue or chemical imbalance, if not perhaps, let's say, a an addiction of some sort that they're struggling with secretly or silently. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like someone is psychotic. It could be someone who has issues with depression. It could be someone who has issues of self-esteem. It could be someone who is drinking. We see they have the spilled cups here. Okay. So, you know, it could mean a lot of things. Because here I have this pouring out of the water. These are the emotions. So someone is trying to, what it speaks to me about this is this jug is being filled automatically from the pool of water. Okay. And while this one is being, the water's being pulled up, this one is pouring down, but it's a continuous cycle. So it's like this person is a conduit. This person is the conduit to help someone or maybe even themselves. In other words, this is something highly, highly significant. And this person is able to bridge the two worlds between logic and reason. Emotion and reason. There's a bridge. This person is a bridge. And so there is something not only magical about the energy of this person, or calming or soothing, but it brings up a lot of fears. The moon. Conversations. And that indicates face-to-face conversations. And then the consolante sorpresa. This is a surprise, but it's a consolation. It's not, it's a less than expected success. Okay. It's like, okay. Half of it was good, double-edged success. How about that? And the loyalty, the fidelità. Now, I didn't talk about my emotions. I'm afraid of my emotions. And so whatever conversations, even if they were superficial, yeah, I'll just take that. These are three very, very strange cards to come out on the moon. Very strange indeed. They're positive cards, so to speak. This is kind of positive, kind of neutral. It's not a negative card. maybe what this is saying is that no matter really what is going on deep down, whatever conversations were had were trustworthy in some respect, but it just wasn't enough. And it could be with this card, it is in the future column. If we take it as the present and say that we're still under the energies of the eclipse, but we're also coming up on the full moon, that this could be a, I don't want to say a return, because here we have a block, a stagnation. Maybe this is going back over those conversations and realizing that they were actually something that were heartfelt, that were sincere, and it is your own fears and phobias, doubts and suspicions that made you think otherwise. And perhaps that's why these cards have come out. You see, because here we have people talking face to face. Here, there's nobody in the room. But yet and still someone trying not to think about it. Okay. That's it for that spread. Hold on. I'm being led to pull cards on this Four of Cups because there's some kind of opportunity coming. Some type of, like I said in the beginning, this could simply be an opportunity for you, if you're going through this, it definitely has to do with the home. It represents moon in Cancer. And that is where the moon is most comfortable. So this is going to have to do with family, the fourth house. It rules your past, your roots, your family, your mother, your father. And maybe this is an opportunity to take a look at some of those things. It could be representative of it's like, remember I was telling you that this is definitely, it feels like a past life connection. And it revolves around, I'm trying to see if I could, this is called the Lord of Abandoned Pleasure. No, Blended Pleasure. I'm sorry, the Lord of Blended Pleasure. Again, it kind of speaks like, well, you know, whatever. It didn't quite work out, but I'm just going to go ahead and do whatever it is that, like I've been doing, or, you know, just keep it moving. But it's the fourth house. And this is really the house of nesting, of comfort, of nurturing, of protection, of having to do, maybe for some of you, this is an issue with your parents. Maybe you have an elderly parent that may have had to move in with you, or you're having to take on more responsibilities because the parent may be ill. They may have some mental issues, Alzheimer's or dementia or something of that nature. The person has been rather combative in a way. And maybe, you know, maybe that person has been in your home and you are having to consider having them move into assisted living or something like that. It's been a real drain trying to do that. But, you know, naturally, if this is your parent or someone you consider a parent or like a parent to yourself, this is going to bring about a lot of confusion and maybe feelings of guilt. Regrets and sadness. Oh my God, you know, feeling bad because you may have to make that decision, so you haven't made it quite yet. Now that's one interpretation that I'm getting, but just simply that it ends with the Four of Cups, the moon in Cancer. And if it's not that situation, it has to do with something that may have occurred back in July. The week of July 12 through maybe the 21st or 22nd. I can't see that on my card anymore. Look, underneath that was the Eight of Wands. So after this particular stagnant energy, you are going to be able to move forward. This could be the opportunity to rehash conversations or go over something. I can't really say. Sensitivity, a change in that, and someone having apprehension. They're thinking about it, but they are apprehensive, which is why they don't accept the cup. All right, let's pull these up. God, that's already been 41 minutes. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut this down, and then I'm going to come back with part 2, but we're going to do it with the Casanovas, okay? All right, see you in a bit. Namaste.